These 7 systems have the potential to revolutionize your life and propel you to heights you never imagined possible. We will be devoting the next 2 months to their development. We don't rise above our goals, we descend to our systems, as James Clear puts it. That is why I'm providing you with a plan in today's video to construct these identical systems in a way that won't cause you to burn out, stress out, or neglect your passion projects. What I'm about to teach you is the result of my cramming 4 years' worth of knowledge into this little video. I also have a brief guide on how to apply these systems and how to start using them without getting overwhelmed. So make sure you're taking notes and watching all the way to the end. A systematic approach to start your day. Start with your morning routine as a system to improve. What you do first thing in the morning often determines the rest of your day, and the rest of your life is a reflection of that. You can thus appreciate the significance of getting a good start to each day. It all starts in bed, if you can believe it. Sunita, a yoga teacher with whom I am presently collaborating, gives a great explanation of this. She argues that, similar to how one would warm up before engaging in strenuous physical activity, one should do the same before waking up and beginning the day's work. The majority of us, however, act in the exact opposite direction. Either we immediately begin to scroll, which overstimulates our brains, or we simply get up and start to hustle. And because they can both increase levels of the stress hormone cortisol, most people are likely to be perpetually worried about something. Neither of these is good for the body. Consequently, she recommends the following as an alternative to getting up and going to work. Next, when you're fully awake, reverse the position. Lie down straight, roll your neck to one side, and then warm up your wrists, ankles, and knees by bringing them to your chest. This is the Pawan Muktasana pose. While you're in bed, twist your spine slightly and stretch your hamstrings and hip flexors. By taking these measures, you can ease the strain on your joints as they transition from a resting to an active state. After that, always turn to your left side in bed, press your right hand, and then sit up straight. Always stand with your legs crossed and breathe deeply, as I mentioned before. This is also known as box breathing, belly breathing, or whatever you want to call it. If you want to wake up your mind and release any tension or worry from your past, even just 10 of those will do the trick. I believe that is a lovely 10-minute morning routine to have if you don't have time for anything else. And now, if you are a beginner, you can just stick with that. I'm going to do it with you as well, since I wanted to tell you about this since I just learned about it recently. Transform your morning's mind, body, and soul rituals for optimal wellness. But here's how I want you to view it. Every morning, do something for your mind, something for your body, and something for your soul. These can be as lengthy or brief as you like, but all I ask is that you choose 3 activities. You already follow a healthy eating regimen, unlike the majority of people. Seek the advice of a nutritionist, I think. C is someone I've worked with before and I adore her. So that you can easily find and consult both her and Sita's Instagram credentials, I've included links to both in the description. See what your health status is by consulting a nutritionist and getting your blood work done. Has your cholesterol been elevated? Is there a hormonal imbalance in your body? By collaborating with a clinical nutritionist and undergoing blood work, any issues can be identified. Your diet should be structured according to those 2 points. Then, after you and your coach have discussed your needs, you can design a personalized eating plan with them. Healthy food. Another piece of advice that has helped me is to eat what makes you happy, but make sure to include any nutrients you need. This is perfect for those who are new to healthy eating or who are trying to break bad habits. The Indian diet is typically low in protein, so even though there are plenty of plant-based foods that can be used to make protein, most Indians still don't consume nearly enough of it. So you should definitely up your protein intake. Even though rajma is a better source of protein than chawal, people tend to eat more of the latter when they eat rajma chawal. So imagine you're eating rajma chawal as an example of this. Here, you have 1 serving of chawal or rice, 2 servings of rajma, which is twice the amount of protein, a side salad, and buttermilk to round out the meal. So, you're enhancing the nutritional density of this dish you adore by adding healthy ingredients. Crafting effective skincare. The next system to construct is your skincare regimen, which is, in my opinion, among the most fascinating. Now, most people still don't have the proper skincare routine, even after spending a pretty penny on skincare products. That's why I'll tell you it like it is. See a dermatologist, not some random skin clinic. If you want to know what skincare products are best for your skin type, you should visit a dermatologist who can examine your skin and give you that information. The constant barrage of information, marketing claims, and technical terms in the cosmetics industry causes us to experiment with new products, which eventually damages our skin's protective barrier. In reality, it causes the skin on our bodies and faces to deteriorate, which in turn increases our vulnerability to skin aging, allergies, and poor skin health. My number one piece of advice would be to consult a dermatologist to find out your skin type and the best products to use on it. Then use that as a foundation for your nighttime and morning skincare regimens. Hair care regimens. Your hair care regimen requires your undivided attention. Because collagen in the skin and melanin in the hair both begin to decline with age, maintaining a decent hair care routine becomes increasingly important as you get older. Hair loss, thinning, and other problems are inevitable. You can actually slow down that process if you start caring for your skin well when you're young. Your hair can stay healthy and beautiful for years to come. Therefore, your goal should be to establish a routine for hair care. From what I've noticed, this is usually rather brief. When done correctly, even the most basic hair care routine can have a profound effect on your locks. To begin, make it a habit to oil your hair and massage your scalp once a week. I don't mind if you want to try doing it more frequently than that. I find that once a week is the sweet spot, both in terms of time and the fact that I try not to massage my scalp too much. Next is using a sulfate-free shampoo. If you have been using sulfate-laden shampoo from most of these brands that have been on the market for a really long time, you actually don't know the real texture of your hair. Once you start using these chemical shampoos, like sulfate and paraben-free shampoos, you will find that your hair actually resorts back to its natural texture. So, if you have curly hair and you're not using all of these chemical products, it will go back to being curly. If you have straight hair, it will go back to being absolutely straight and shiny. The next thing, and I swear by this for hair fall control, and for regrowing hair that has already fallen out because of PCOS flare-ups, is to use a mixture of rosemary and jojoba oil. This is the most basic mixture in the world. There are many iterations of this online, but rosemary oil is supposed to have really great effects for growing back hair and stimulating your scalp. So, I tend to do this every time before I shampoo. I just apply rosemary oil to my head, and after that, I just shampoo regularly. So, this is usually a 3 times a week procedure for me. It doesn't take a lot of time, and I don't massage it a lot. I just let it sit on my scalp. You can try it out if you're facing hair fall, but yes, do a patch test and give it a try before you make it a part of your routine. Effortless elegance. Lastly, you need to dry and style your hair. It takes too much time and energy for me to do anything most days, so I usually just sit around and do nothing. Second, I have never dyed my hair and use very few styling tools and products, so I like to think that's why my hair is still in great condition, even though I'm in my 30s and 31st year of life. In the winter, I usually avoid getting sick by simply letting the air dry a bit and using a hairdryer. That is all though. Once every 6 months or so, at most, I'll treat myself to a blow dry. No, I avoid using heat styling tools on my hair. On top of that, I always use a heat protector spray before handling heat. Of paramount importance. For my hair, I use a leave-in conditioner. My usual routine consists of washing my hair, then conditioning it with a regular conditioner. After my hair's about 70% dry, I add a leave-in conditioner for extra protection. Something from Bare Anatomy is what I'm using at the moment. Depending on factors like hair quality and texture, some individuals may need a slightly more rigorous routine. This may not be necessary for all individuals. However, during the next 2 months, we will be concentrating on developing a hair care regimen that is specific to your needs. Now you have 5 systems in place. You should then establish a basic grooming routine as a system. A simple grooming regimen accomplishes double duty. First, it gives you the physical means to transform into the most attractive version of yourself in the way you imagine that to be physically possible. And second, it gives you the mental tools to become this person. Both your self-esteem and your physical attractiveness are positively impacted. That is why personal hygiene practices are common in every culture at all times. Therefore, I want you to prioritize developing a basic self-care regimen at the moment. This is the procedure you follow each time you leave the house. No matter how long or short it is, set a goal to ensure that you always leave the house looking your best. Whether that's an hour or 15 minutes, the point is to have one in place.